Welcome everyone, today I'll be covering Transport Fever 2. I just want to give a brief look at this game. Probably a lot of people already know about it if you're interested in things like Railway Empire or if you played OpenTTD back in the day. This is definitely should be on your radar already, and if it's not, well, this is what this video is for, right? To kind of advertise the presence of it. Most of me even, most of the times I will be playing in a free play sandbox environment, setting up a new thing and having fun. But gosh, I have to say that I have a lot of fun with the campaign in this. Very similar to in Railway Empire, I also enjoy the campaign in that. So what I'll be doing is just picking one of the missions. I haven't gotten that far into the campaign. Still picking up this game. I'll skip the voice acting, so we'll just jump into this.
The industrial city of Glasgow is bursting at the seams. The factories are working full blast.
Okay, so I cut out all the dialogue just to speed along here, but our goal in this first part of the mission, there'll be several new objectives coming soon, but we just want to do something very simple, which is supply this steelworks with coal and iron. And the cool thing is, this is kind of far enough away from the iron, you could probably do it by road too, but I'm going to go ahead and try to do it by rail. Actually, I'm not sure if I will, but it's probably the best thing to do, just to showcase both things right away. We'll start off by getting a truck station, so you do have the separation between passenger and like industrial and vehicles. We'll be doing this, putting it pretty far back. There's a reason for that, because we're too close. These things are so close together they actually can connect directly, but we don't want to do that. So we'll just leave them a little bit further apart, artificially keep them separated, because the catchment range for these is actually pretty big, as we'll see. And we'll take our road, we'll do some curvy road here. Do curve up, we're going to go up this mountain a little bit. And curve back. Actually, let's drop that down a little bit. And then finish it off just like that. Perfect, so we kind of cut out a little bit of the slope, but not entirely, so it wasn't too much landscaping, which is just about right. Then I'm going to see if we manage to build enough road that these two are not. Yeah, so you can see I'm actually catching both at the same time. Isn't that crazy? That's fine. What we can do is just build it over here a little bit then. Oops. So that will only catch this one. Okay, good. So now we have two places to go. We're going to set up a line going from one to the other. And there's our first line, which we will call the cola to steel. And that's truck. I don't have a good naming system set up for this. I'm just trying to do this basically pretty quickly. Last thing we're missing is a depot, a road depot, in order to actually supply, some vehicles to the line. And let's get this set up as well. Okay, it's good enough. And you will buy some vehicles. We'll get, well, what we want is not cargo type of passenger or passenger. We want all of those things. Yeah, that looks good. Why don't we get maybe 3 of these for now? Buy that much. They're all going to appear here. We'll select them all and we'll set them on the coal steel truck line. And we're in business with that. Now we just need to get the same thing set up with the iron. I think you could just very easily do this with trucks. It's pretty close by. In fact, we're going to need to use rail pretty quickly. Last time I used a train to connect these two. I was considering doing that here as well, but you know what? Let's go ahead and just build another line this way. Small country road should do. Just connect that over just like that. Perfect. And that's actually going to be perfect for our railway to come right on over to the top of it, believe it or not. So we'll leave it like this. Now we'll get the same thing going on. We need a truck station over here. And this one I don't mind if it's a little bit more aggressively placed. A little bit closer. Ooh, 90. I like that number lower. There we go. Alright, new line here, going from there to there. And that's gonna be our iron steel truck. Great. Now let's get some vehicles actually to man it. And we'll probably need a lot more than what we had before, since, there's longer distance. Not that much longer though. We'll get 4 of them. How about that? You can always just add more vehicles as the need, if the need arises, or as needed. And let's go ahead and get started. See what happens. Let's watch all these guys pouring out of the... I hit it right. There they go. Some of them going off to collect their coal. Looks like I got 3 that way and 4 that way. For the distance they're traveling, it seems about right. This is about 4/3 what that route is. But not to mention this one also has to go up the hill. I'm not sure if it'll matter or not. We can actually just follow along here. 20, it's slowing down, so it looks like they go 20 kilometers an hour. That's actually pretty quick. Down to 11 up this hill. Okay, that makes sense. Carrying their 5 coal. And then back up to 20. Very good. These guys can make their long path down. So let me just speed ahead and I'll come back when we have the next exercise, but you can see that this is, the trucks are all set up and they're going to deliver things just as you'd expect. Alright, the first one was coming back. I think that's enough to trigger the next objective, but also just from a tycoon standpoint, success. We're making money.
Bigger the better. But it doesn't get there all by itself.
Alright, I'm going to hit 3 on my numpad to bring up where the industrial area is. It looks like it's over here. So why don't I just connect that road? Looks like medium. And then we'll be in business if we take one of these this road I guess, line on out. And they want it to go here, I suppose? Not like that. I don't want a road that costs 300,000. That seems a bit excessive. Just try to lower this a little bit. Kind of gear it up for the ultimate decline. It's we need to be going down. Is that going to do it though? Alright, well, yeah, that worked. I mean, I wouldn't want to try to climb that hill, but we'll just ignore that for the time being. I probably could have done it a lot nicer, and I would if time was really a factor, but wasn't a factor. Alright, so let's get a truck at the top. Somewhere up here. Hopefully this will do. I mean, it looks like it's getting a lot of the industry. Okay, and I set up a new line. We want to go from steel to town. That'll be the steel town truck route. And same as before. We'll get some more vehicles. I'm expecting that steel will be produced slightly slower. I mean, than the ingredients. I think it's 2 of each for 1 steel. So we'll get maybe only. Well, it's kind of it's a longer route, so I'll get 3. But yeah, I suspect that'll be enough. That might even been more than enough. How are we looking here? Yeah, so what are we running out of? Looks like we have coal but no iron. Okay, perfect. So we'll throw on 1 more to balance things out. The iron. Perfect. Yeah, cool. So it's very nice that you see all the... Oh, look, so we got actually equilibrium. Produced 22, we shipped 4 now, so I guess we actually have somebody on their way. There it is, with 0. Oh, and you went that way. Oh, there's 1. Okay, so we are shipping it now. Good. Alright, so then we just set up our production line, and this is what you'd like to do in the real game if you want to make money. Look, this is a tutorial, so we're not going to have to worry about money too much. You see our earnings are negative. I'm not even going to try to balance them nicely, but if we wanted to, we could invest in all the little details. This reminds me a lot of OpenTTD, which is one of the things I wanted to say, that this game, it really is a lot more like OpenTTD than it is like Railway Empire or the Railway Tycoons, because it's more about a transport. I mean, that's why it's transport fever, not railroad fever. You really can, I mean, we'll be dealing with ships in a moment, and I don't know if they have airplanes, but I think they do. Funny enough, somebody jumped in front of us and slowed us down a bit, but there we go. That should be the last one. See, our earnings are actually hovering around positive.
Of high-quality steel make it possible to build particularly seaworthy ships. Every ship needs a
My next step for us is to build a
Your
harbor.
venture needs a particularly good one.
How exciting. So it looks a little bit like it's going to be a sheer drop. Just pretend that doesn't happen, I guess. It's connected.
Help to build a shipyard so that it won't be long before you can call a beautiful ship.
Get a shipyard as well. Maybe stick that on this side. Looks like the outward facing point.
Buy a stately
Okay.
boat that will sail you safely through the wild waters
So we can also
of the
get
Western Isles
ships.
on your daring expedition.
Yeah, so we can also get ships. The Wilhelm I. Wilhelm the First. Lots of power. And lots of cargo as well. The mission, it's funny because the horses have a mission. I don't know what they're going with. Methane there? Or what's the what's the unit of measurement? Okay, so we'll buy this one.
Explore the Western Isles to obtain whiskey for the city.
Same as before, I'm just going to add a new line between this new harbor and some harbor way over here, which is going to produce whiskey. It's good enough. Actually, it's not going to produce anything until the full production chain is set up. So just as if anybody's actually playing this mission, it's something I had to learn, is you need the full production chain set up to deliver whiskey before they'll even start transporting it. Now that one can go on the new line we called line 1, but let's rename that to be Whiskey Boat. And there she goes. Another thing you can do is you can, with any of them, cars or the boats, the trains. Whoa! Oh, we're parking. That's right. Look at that, Glasgow Port. Goodbye, Glasgow Port. Yeah, you can ride alongside. Is that a... Got a little defensive armament there. Okay, now, anyway, the next mission for us is to go to Fort William. And the backstory of this is pretty funny. It's to bring in cheap labor because people are asking for too much money in Glasgow. Considering this is late 1800s, I'm kind of terrified to know what exactly that means. But anyway, we will take the long way around. So let's go ahead and grab this area. So if I do 3 once again, this is supposed to be for residential, I suppose. So you might want to slam this a little bit more over this way. We'll do a terminal station since passengers, we don't need this to be very long at all. In fact, even 80 will probably suffice. We're not planning to get that many. And just make sure it connects to the road. That's all we really want to do. Look at all that white. That's what I wanted to see. And we're only destroying one building. Sorry, building. Got that down. There's a lot of track that we're gonna have to lay here. I kind of like to do little shorter bursts, otherwise you get a little bit unrealistic in the turns and all that. They just terraform a lot. That might be considered a good thing by some people, though. You know, they basically smooth everything. You can see that this is like an entire crater, but if I just drag this up, they're not going to be as aggressive about landscaping or terraforming or whatever. Not terraforming, yeah, landscaping. We've been playing too many other games. Yeah, let's roll down this hill nicely. And we're about to make our hard turn. So my plan is to jump over that road. So I want to try to come down nicely. So we want to come down a little bit, as much as possible. And you can see it's running, the train can run pretty quick right now. But it's going to be a steep slope for it to come down, so I think it'll just go right over. Oops. Let's see if that actually does play out the way I hope. There we go, that's what I want. I want a bridge. Oh, that looks nice. That looks nice. Go a little bit over this way though, because we want to be curving a lot more. And let's hit that and then continue the curve onto this hill. We'll be going down as much as possible at this point though, because we don't want to... We want to hit land. Okay, good. We're back on land. Now we just need to go down, smooth ourselves out. We made it. We're back. Follow this all the way. And you can see we're terraforming a lot, landscaping a lot more than I would want to. So the 3D aspect, obviously this is going to be a huge difference for anybody who's been playing OpenTTD, like the tile-based system in that. I also don't think the signals are set up as nicely in this. It's much more, I think it's much more simplified. Now, I'm speaking a little bit out of turn, like I don't know exactly, I haven't played this for long enough, but I'm impressed by what I've seen already, so I'm not like worried about the signaling stuff. I've done some signaling, it has the one-way support. It may be more than Railway Empire had, which I'm not sure that's really saying much. I don't know if it's OpenTTD levels though, just in case people want that, if that's the expectation. That's a tough act. That was really wonderfully complicated. Alright, let's just do that. And we're done.
Supply the city of Glasgow with workers
We are going to need a
who haven't fallen victim to the union's
train depot.
Yet.
And tough to say where the best place to add this would be. So we'll add it on this side since the train is going to have to come from this side anyway, right? It's good. Then we'll add the track for it. Looks good. 57, it's like much faster than any of my trains can go, so perfect. Let's buy a train. So we're going to want a fair number of people to travel on this, and it's a long distance, so it's probably better to get... No, it's not like cost is any problem for us. We'll get this new fancy one. Look at this, 250, 240, 330, 700. Okay, maybe we'll just go with this. No, let's do this. It'll be a little bit faster, and I'm happy with that. We have a lot of Bavarians fitting in a passenger car. Well, we're gonna have to do that. You can see it. Wow, it supports a lot. That's already 40 people. We'll buy that just as is. And we want to get it set up with... Oh, the line. I forgot to get the line going, as I usually do. This is Williams... Fort Williams to Glasgow train. Oop, training. That does not convey the appropriate meaning. Now we can go over here and throw our train on it. Great! Out she goes! Aha! Yes! She's not going anywhere because I didn't add lines. That's also important to do. But that's a good way of showcasing that the game, something about the game, that things don't usually move until everything's working. In that case, it's a little more obvious, there's no routes, but even the whiskey that we have a boat right now going from our port that we put down, our harbor, Glasgow port, over to Port Ellen, and this one is able to pick up, well, should be able to pick up whiskey barrels from the distillery there. But they won't actually do that at all until you have a place for them to go. So right now, in Glasgow port, there's nothing. There's no storage there. Anyway, we can ride on our new train, which is something I really like to do. So we'll have, what's that game? Train Simulator or whatever. Me, I'd rather just park myself on top of this and go for a joyride. It's actually pretty cool. Press H for the horn. Usual. Make sure our conductor is doing everything right. Shoveling more coal as needed. But there we go. That was a nice little journey through the Scottish landscape. Looks like people are starting to line up there. And we'll be ready to take them on the next trip. 10 at least. Well, might need 2 trips before this is done. Well, that's cool. As I was just sitting here, this industrial building was built. It's nice and shiny, and it's connected to our passenger train thing, so it won't be important. And I have to say, I really do like just watching this train travel around the track I built. This is a beautiful game. Alright, as the final transport group of people come in, I just want to say that we're actually starting to get more positive. This is all based on the railroad that we're doing negative, but making good money just supplying the factory and bringing it to town.
The new workers from the Highlands are remarkably productive.
Okay, the next mission is deliver whiskey, and this is the one that was a little complicated for me. So you keep thinking like, well, why is this show 0 out of 70 steel? I want whiskey, and there's no steel on this route. Okay, just has to get all set up first. We just want to deliver whiskey to the commercial side. To the commercial side, right? Yeah, commercial. So 3 on a numpad. Here's our blue commercial buildings. So I think if we just put one over here, we should be fine. Take that off. And we're going to be doing this by truck. Yeah, we'll just do it this way. I mean, 89 is not a whole lot better. Okay, so that's one. We're going to need another down here to actually take it from the harbor. And yeah, don't pay any attention or consider how we were going to bridge that. I guess we're going to set up some kind of rocket launcher to get it up. And we'll just do this. Now we'll set up our line to take it from the docks and into town. Great. This will be called our Whiskey Town Delivery Truck. And we're gonna need some trucks for it. Luckily for us, the roads are all connected, so we can just ask this depot to supply it without having to buy a new depot. Get this because they deliver whiskey. Why don't we just maybe get 3 of them? Get those all thrown on to the Whiskey Town delivery route. Now, that still doesn't mean that we've delivered any whiskey, so what I'm going to do is I'll wait for this guy. When he goes here, and then he comes back the next time, at the loading point, he'll see that the full route is all set up, that we have actually somebody taking whiskey from the port, and then he'll deliver it. So it's really a fulfill system. It's a pull system rather than a push, you know. I mean, I don't know if that's, you know, yeah, there has to be a demand for there to be a supply. You don't supply it without it just in a vacuum. All right, here comes our paddle boat approaching with, well, the amount of whiskey that we need. Very cool. Beautiful game. All right, our first truck is making his way. Oh, look at that. Avoided a collision and everything, which is great. It's quite a trafficy little city here, Glasgow. I didn't realize it was so bustling with, Oh, God, you know what, personally, I don't know if the rules were the same as they are today, protecting pedestrians. You gotta watch out for a horse-drawn carriage. Not something that I would want to run in front of. And so that should be completing our first delivery of whiskey, and you can see the earnings is going up and up and up compared to the negative 300,000 that we were previously facing, which means that things are starting to become more profitable on the train route as well. Definitely with OpenTTD, you would have the industry can become more productive if you supply it inputs, and I don't know if that was the case for Railway Empire, but it definitely was for OpenTTD, and they have that all in here too.
Throats are well lubricated all over Glasgow.
Okay, well the next stop for us is to actually supply fish to Glasgow, which means we're going to need a cargo shipment, but the fish is all the way over here, and this is kind of insane. We can do it though. The 2 options, I've done both ways, by the way. I've gone over here, into the side of the mountain, out through a tunnel, over the track, and back. You may be saying that's insane, and it absolutely is. That's like completely not profitable, but it's a tutorial. I mean, it's an early mission where they give us enough money we can get away with shenanigans like that. Probably a little bit more realistic, but not like, you know, also not necessarily great, would be something more simple, just driving right through the town. So we'll do that one. Ooh, okay. So we'll do this, and then we're gonna need to go like actually through the town. Come on. Now there's two ways to do it. I think we could elevate over and eventually be, yeah, like this. Will this work? I don't know, I haven't done this before. It will. That is a horrendous bridge pillar collision. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Wait, there's no pillar collision here. Oh, don't snap. Don't snap. Okay, there we go. We made it through town. It only cost 260,000 to do that. But it's fine, right? It's fine. Alright, so we are actually going to want to go on the other side anyway. Can we just raise this to go back over? Another bridge? Yes? Why? Just so we're on the other side. I don't want to drop back down after this. Okay, good. Check mark that. And this is a little too much, but now we want to come back down. Good. Why did I want to do that? So that this place can get it to us. Oh, too much slope. No. Botched it. Alright, now we're just going to basically just run parallel lines all the way home. Which is cool that this game allows you to do it. You just, I mean, it's pretty simple. They're next to each other, it knows what you want. And then we'll split off here to actually disconnect to go to our own station, but get the second terminus. It looks like we're connecting with a lot of stuff doing that. So that should be sufficient. We hook up the track. We did it.
Out in the Atlantic leap happily into the nets.
Alright, I'm going to take to this. Try it again. So we have the track where we want to connect to all the way over there. We can just do a much better job of this, I'm sure. Nice little bridge. This bridge should already be starting to point that way. Do you go under nicely? Oh, you do. I love that. Okay, then bring us back home as quickly as possible. Wow, look at that. That's already there. Okay, then just connect. Oh, okay, you can go around a little bit. There we go. And that should allow us to connect through here. Yeah, look at that. We don't even have to slow down below 50. Great, so now let's get our line set up. Going this abomination of a route. I don't know if it's that much worse to go through a tunnel on the other side. All the way over to our industry over here. We'll call this the fish haul rail, and go over here and buy a new vehicle for it. Let's get the nice fancy train since, you know, the tutorial's paying for it, not us. And then a compartment car, what do we got here? Ah, there we go, box car. That's exactly what we want. Add a few of these. Wants 25, so we'll put 24 on there. Add that to fish haul, and let's see it happen. There she goes. Over a nice bridge that goes on for forever. Is just completely impractical. Well, we only picked up 3 fish to start with, so this will be, I mean, it's a beautiful game, isn't it? But this is going to be a small delay. Come back when we have enough fish. Alright, our train is coming home with the last of the fish, and that's going to wrap up this episode as well as this mission. So thanks for watching this one. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you haven't heard of Transport Fever 2, I don't know how you didn't hear about it, but if you watched this far, and especially if you were a fan of either of those games I keep talking about, Railway Empire, OpenTTD, any of the Railroad Tycoon type series, yeah, this is definitely something you should at least check out. And there it is. We completed it. Go into the menu. Try a different mission if I want. I think that they do a great job holding your hand from beginning, like just learning the game, to give you a sense that you could actually go to a free game and be successful. So, thanks for watching, and until the next video, take care.